Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Thursday, October 2nd, 2008. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. It's 4:30 p.m. in London, 12:30 p.m. in Bermuda, and 9:30 a.m. in Mexico City. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CATEXTV. We have one birthday of note today. We do this every year, and there's always the same person who sends me an AOL instant mail because he gets the name. This man is 57 years old today. His name is Gordon Matthew Thomas Sumner. Gordon Matthew Thomas Sumner is 57 years old today. We have one breaking story. It's coming from California. There's been a magnitude 4.1 earthquake in San Bernardino County. Just a little bit east of Los Angeles. It struck at about 5:41 a.m. Eastern Time this morning. It was 6 miles northeast of the town of Yucaipa. Yucaipa is a city, actually, about 70 miles east of LA with 50,000 people. There have been no reports of any damage or anything like that. The other breaking story, if you've been following this, apparently the FAA and other search groups have now confirmed that the wreckage found up by Mammoth Lakes in eastern California by a hiker yesterday is now confirmed as being the wreckage of Steve Fawcett's experimental airplane. So perhaps we'll have some more information on that soon enough. I'm surprised and gratified. I'm sorry for Mr. Fawcett, but surprised to learn that there are indeed places in the continental United States where a plane can crash and they don't find it for a year. It's good to know that we're still that rural. Now to the main news. Yes, it has happened, Virginia. Last night the U.S. Senate voted 3-1 to approve the bailout bill, and now it's going to be coming over to the House of Representatives probably tomorrow. House members are going to get another chance to vote on the bill. This time the Senate will send it back, but it's going to be loaded with billions of dollars of tax cuts and other sweeteners. The Senate passed the bill last night 74-25. The only senator not voting was the ailing Senator Ted Kennedy, who was up in Massachusetts. So now the bailout package is going to be brought up tomorrow. Apparently House leaders, as we speak, are doing their whip counts, which means they're speaking to their various members to make sure that they have the votes lined up. As you recall, it went down on Monday, 228 to 205. So they somehow have to turn about 12 people. There have been some big rumblings up north of us. The Hartford, in the face of falling stock prices, has issued an unusual statement to reassure that its companies are doing well and that it has plenty of cash. Shares of the Hartford, the Connecticut-based firm, which was selling in the $80 range about 6 months ago, were down to $37 yesterday. Fitch put the company on a negative credit watch, and the statement that came out from the Hartford said that actually President Ayer came out with it. We're disappointed with our recent stock performance, but recognize that we're living through a period of unprecedented market conditions. The Hartford added that it has a strong history of managing through challenging times. We're confident in our financial strength. Nothing is more important to us than honoring these promises, etc., etc. David Anthony with Argus Research Company said Fitch was a little obtuse in his comment, and perhaps this is a veiled concern about asset-backed securities. So he would not react. Argus is not recommending the stock for purchase. Obviously, there's a lot of concern about this if Hartford is the next one. General Electric announced yesterday that it has seen a white knight. Of course, it's about the only person in the United States left with cash came knocking on their door. GE is going to offer at least $12 billion in common stock, and in addition, Warren Buffett himself has jumped into the role of rescuers. He's agreed to buy $3 billion in perpetually preferred stock from General Electric in a private offering. The stock comes with a 10% annual dividend from Mr. Buffett. Last time I checked, 10% of $3 billion is $300 million a year. So Buffett's move comes as GE, which takes in about half of its revenue from its capital unit, has seen its stock pummeled along with the rest of the financial sector. GE shares closed yesterday at about $24.50, down about 4% from Tuesday's trading. The stock has fallen about 13% since September 1st and 34% for the year. Some observers voiced optimism last night, saying that Buffett's high-profile investment in GE would help finally stop the stock's steady decline. Buffett said in an interview on CNBC that he had been approached by GE about a deal via a banker at Goldman Sachs, which itself was the beneficiary of an agreement last week for Buffett to invest $5 billion in there. Buffett said that it's essential that Congress approve a financial sector bailout. He said we're at the economic equivalent of Pearl Harbor. The stock market is down about 261 points right now, so I'm not necessarily sure what they're listening to. They're certainly listening to this from the U.S. Labor Department. First-time applications for U.S. job benefits rose to the highest level in 7 years, as more Americans were thrown out of work in the aftermath of the Gulf Coast hurricanes and employers cut staff. Initial jobless claims increased by 1,000 to 497,000 in the week that ended the 27th of September. The total number of people collecting benefits is now the highest since 2003. The government may report tomorrow that the economy lost jobs in the month of September for a 9th consecutive month. A little bit of reinsurance news. RenRe said that it expects third quarter results to take a $275 million hit due to hurricanes, with the majority of the estimated losses attributable to Ike. The Hamilton-based reinsurer said that its current direct holdings of fixed maturity securities issued by Lehman Brothers totals about $8.7 million. The company said that it has insignificant direct holdings of fixed maturity securities issued by AIG and Washington Mutual, and also insignificant reinsurance recoverables from AIG. RenRe said that it has no direct exposure to preferred or common shares issued by Lehman, AIG, WAMU, Fannie Mae, or Freddie Mac. So that's good news. Royal Dutch Shell said this morning that about 87% of its Gulf of Mexico production is still out as a result of Hurricanes Ike and Gustav. Shell's platforms are currently producing only 65,000 barrels of oil a day. Normally, Shell's assets in the Gulf produce about 500,000 barrels of oil a day. And the ripple effect of those types of things goes pretty far and wide. Cooper Tire and Rubber Company, that makes Cooper tires, said that it will adjust its production schedules because of a shortage of raw materials as well as slow demand in an attempt to avoid layoffs. The tire producer said that its suppliers have not been able to provide sufficient materials because of problems arising from the hurricanes that struck the Gulf Coast. The shortages have led Cooper to slow production at certain plants. Employee hours will be cut back and closing times will be shared between plants. Cooper management said that the situation was dynamic and said that plans could change if the availability of materials improve. The company expects to take a third quarter charge of about $9 million because of the moves. Cooper, along with other tire makers, apparently have been suffering with the increased cost and unavailability of raw materials for tires as a result of the hurricane. Now, I know that tires are made out of rubber, but a significant portion of tires are made from petroleum byproducts. So possibly the refining process with the cracking of the crude is being delayed as well, which I suppose it would be. And it seems, yes, the gentleman in Bermuda has once again, for the second year in a row, identified who 57-year-old Gordon Matthew Thomas Sumner is. He is Sting of the police from England. He's 57 years old today. We'll go to a word from our sponsors and come back with the rest of the news.
Every day, the world wakes up and goes to work, pursuing the unique opportunities that lead the global economy forward. The complexity and close connectivity of today's global marketplace is a true modern miracle that can create unparalleled success. But it takes confidence, passion, innovation, and understanding.
Enabling opportunity.
Protecting capital.
Engineering innovation.
Investing in your future.
Ensuring continuity.
Finding the right balance.
It takes Aon.